Talking with Fran Mosey about breastfeeding. She's a lactation expert. You hear about it all the time. Other countries, breastfeeding is the norm, and then you come to the United States, and sometimes it's not, depending on where you live or who your family is or what's been the norm in your family. There's a cultural shift going on, but not everyone's on board, I should say.
No, I think you're right about that. You know, it does depend on where you live in the country. Some parts of the country, probably the East and West Coast, breastfeeding has been predominant, you know, for many, many years. And so it is very much more culturally normal. In the Midwest, it hasn't always been that way. And that's a big goal that we have, is that, you know, having more women breastfeeding, finding ways for us to bring it into the culture that women aren't, like if they go out in public, to be able to breastfeed in public without having people stop them and comment about things.
Yeah, and that's what I don't understand, because a mother could be covered up in public breastfeeding and there's a huge uproar, but yet a couple of people could walk by with their pants almost to the floor and lots of crackage showing, or a tiny little top or whatever, and that's like, okay. And I'm like, it's just a part of the anatomy. It's feeding your baby.
Right, and we talk about that's really what breasts were there for originally, you know, for us to feed our babies. So, you know, right now a lot of women, they're finding places where they can go privately to breastfeed.
Yeah.
We even have more of that available even here at West Acres now at the mall. They have mothers' rooms that are specifically just for moms to stop in and feed their babies. But, you know, you do want people to be able to feed their babies wherever their babies need to be fed without having anybody comment on that. Yeah. It's going to take time. It's just going to take time as more women breastfeed, as more people are out in the public. Pretty soon it will be the cultural norm.
A couple things I want to touch on. One is, I think by doing it, you create a deeper connection, I'm assuming, because you release the oxytocin as a woman and things like that with your offspring. But also, even if you don't breastfeed, kids can clearly grow up and be healthy without it, correct?
Yeah, it's okay.
Right, that they can, absolutely. But that bonding is really important, you know, for moms and babies. And yes, you can bond with your children if you do bottle feed them, but that's another piece to it, yes.
You are on the show here too because a woman, one of the authors, is coming to town, this book, Making More Milk. She'll be speaking about it, right?
She will. We have the Fargo-Moorhead Breastfeeding Association is an association of healthcare professionals, nurses, lactation consultants, WIC staff that meet regularly to kind of educate ourselves and also try to make some inroads into some of those cultural changes. And we're bringing in this author, Lisa Marasco, that wrote this book, Making More Milk, that's really designed for mothers to read. But there's a lot of information for us healthcare professionals. So our goal is the issues that we talked about, women that maybe don't make enough milk, for whatever reason it is. We're trying to call it Solving the Mysteries of Breastfeeding, because we're going to hopefully get some more tips from her on the ways that we can help our families.
Quickly, a tip if, let's say, mom wants to breastfeed, dad doesn't. Any coaching on how to help mend that? Or maybe dad wants to and mom doesn't? Or
It's amazing how we influence each other that way. Yeah. And I find it both ways. I think maybe if we just can talk to them, the person maybe, you know, educate them a little bit and bring them to a class. We have now as many dads in our classes as moms that come to breastfeeding class, and I think it really makes a change.
All right, and have we shown that graphic already? Yes, there it is, Ramada Suites, October 23rd. FM Area Breastfeeding Association. It's more for experts.
More for the professionals,
but
yes.
Then they can give that information to all the rest of us.
That's our goal.
All right.
Yes.
Fran Mosey, thank you so much.
Welcome.
We appreciate your insight. You can give her a call too over at Sanford if you have any questions. Trust me, lots of people call her when they have questions. All right, stay close. We'll be right back.
Thanks, guys.
Also coming up here in just a moment, it's going to be our Fashion Police. Love it or hate it. We'll see what's coming up right after this.